So, I wanted to talk about getting sober for people who are struggling with addiction, and why it's important. And it's important because of the Lord, and it's important so you can get to heaven. And yeah, um, I just want to start with some quotes. Like Jesus had said, "Stay sober, stay well guarded, because when the sons of men descend upon you a day, a time, an hour which you know not, it'll be easier to deal with." Um, well guarded, sober. You know, people when they get drunk, they do something stupid sometimes, and that's a bad thing, and it causes a whole cycle of shame and guilt, and da 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 da, and dysfunction, and trouble with the law, or money, or family, or relationships. So everything's easier to go through sober, even if it hurts, even if you're depressed. Trust me, I've been sober the last few years, and it's definitely easier to go through it not drinking and getting drunk and all that stuff that goes along with that. Um, it also says somewhere to trade in the crown of the drunkard for the crown of the Lord of Hosts. And, I think about the Kung Fu, there was like Drunken Master Kung Fu, and there's like one that's like Drunken Master versus Mantis. And I think about that, like Mantis, they kind of do like a mantis praying mantis kind of thing, but it's like in Greek, mantis means one who's seen the face of God. So if you think like the drunken master versus mantis is kind of like and like the mantis actually wins in that thing. So trade in the crown of the drunkard for the crown of the Lord of Hosts. And there's something in the Old Testament from God in the Old Testament that says heaven is not for drunkards or murderers, sorcerers, idolaters. Idolatry, and covetous greed, and mammonous stealing and all that stuff, and murder and total debauchery, and you know it's not that's not going to heaven. So you don't want to do those things. There's one thing where there was like a queen, I think it was like Haggai, where she said like a little blessing, I think, to kind of like cover some of the drunk poor that were like having like a real bad time, and like they were like going through a lot of problems and poverty. And she had told her son, who was a king, don't drink. It's not for kings, because you got to govern and this and that, so you shouldn't be drunk. But she said, let the poor drink, this and that. But I felt like she was trying to like kind of bless the poor a little too, and even if they were kind of drunk, to kind of say, well, they have it pretty bad. But the point is, the Lord can get you through all these things. I smoke tobacco and drink coffee. It doesn't get you high, That's the type of thing people don't get a breathalyzer or alcohol, DUI test for, because those things don't impair the motor skills and driving of an adult at all. The thing is, I call it like the AA diet. It's like a joke, but at like AA meetings and NA meetings, people like drink coffee and they take a cigarette break and they socialize together. And I think that um, the AA is good and the NA is good, except that they condition in people one false thing where they say addiction is a disease that can't be cured, when I know it can be cured, and the Lord can heal any affliction, and He can cure anything. So it can be cured. I'm not tempted at all to be a drunkard or get drunk anymore. I had tried drugs, especially when I was really young. I was never tempted to do those drugs ever again. Um, I'll tell you, after you have some time under your belt, and I'm really not tempted to. I don't care for all that stuff. I don't care for, getting drunk, whether it's bars or wild parties or not. I don't care for that kind of thing. Even when I was just drinking, back in my garage, scrapping metal and keeping to myself, I'm not even like, well, I'm just hanging out here, I'll just have a beer. And I'm even been living outside homeless the last few years, or a couple of years or so. And yeah, I actually have been more sober than I've been, you know, since I was a child, basically, till, all the way, I've been very sober. So I just wanted to give people a message of hope and some words from the Lord, and why it's so serious to care. And if you care about the Lord, to not be a drunk. And to understand some things he said, and also to realize alcoholism and drug addiction actually can be cured, and you can become to the point where you're no longer tempted. You just have to want to care and just say, care about righteous things, care about the Lord, care about the earth, care about good things, be interested in knowledge of God and a righteous cause and the events of the day, and find other things to do and just praise the Lord, and you'll get better. And it is curable. So just pray to the Lord if you need help too. A lot of times you'll realize just praying to the Lord is a lot more effective than depending on all kinds of other people for things, thinking, oh, well, I'll go talk to all of them and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. Just pray to the Lord. Try to keep it simple. They have that right too in that program too. One day at a time, keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple. All right. Well, wishing sobriety on people, and younger people especially, try not to make the mistakes that I made. A lot of that stuff leads people to bad things and hellishness, hell and death, and trouble with the law and tickets and this and that and the other. So it's a real big pain in the butt. Plus, people do stupid things and let their guard down, and da-da-da. But anyway, you can get through it. So, yep, just a message of hope, and why it's important, too. All right. Good night.